Good morning, everyone. Jennifer M. Clarke is the People's Party candidate in the Nanaimo-Ladysmith by-election, and she's tweeting, quote, "I won the debate. I received a 9 of 10 at the Nanaimo All-Candidates meeting. Vote Jennifer Clarke today during advanced voting or Saturday, April 27th, Sunday, April 28th, and Monday, April 29th. Voting day is May 6th in the Nanaimo-Ladysmith." So, and here's the link to the whole debate. It's an hour and a half of very interesting watchings, particularly if you're going to vote. And the views are actually pretty low on it, so go have a watch. It's interesting. And CTV News is reporting, I tweeted this out last night, but here's more details on this MP stepping down. Dominic LeBlanc taking leave from cabinet after second cancer diagnosis. Longtime federal liberal Dominic LeBlanc is taking a temporary leave from cabinet after being diagnosed with a form of non-Hodgkin lymphoma. This comes after announcing in October that his leukemia was in remission. In a joint statement with his oncologist, Dr. Nicholas Finn, Intergovernmental and Northern Affairs Minister LeBlanc said he would be, quote, temporarily stepping away from my cabinet duties to focus on my health. I scroll down. LeBlanc said he has begun treatment for what began as, quote, flu-like symptoms. That will continue for several weeks, he said, but anticipates returning to his ministerial position once it's over. Quote, my constituency office in Shediac remains open and ready to serve the residents of his riding. I'm nominated as the Liberal candidate for my riding, and I will run in the next election to represent the remarkable people of this beautiful region. And sorry, I definitely bailed on the name. Sorry, I would slaughter it, so I'm not going to try. And here's the Justin Trudeau's statement on this. Prime Minister announces temporary changes to the ministry. And I found that like an odd way to phrase it because it's a specific ministry. You could name it, but anyway, it's weird. The Prime Minister Justin Trudeau today announced temporary changes to the Canadian ministry. These changes follow Dominic LeBlanc's announcement that he is taking a leave of absence from his role as Minister of Intergovernmental and Northern Affairs as internal trade for health reasons. Minister of Finance Bill Morneau will temporarily assume responsibilities related to the intergovernmental affairs and internal trade. Minister Morneau will also act as president of the Queen's Privy Council for Canada. In addition, Minister of Democratic Institutions Karina Gould will temporarily become the minister responsible for Federal Public Sector Labor Relations Act and the Federal Public Sector Labor Relations and Employment Board Act. While Minister LeBlanc is currently responsible for these acts as president of the Queen's Privy Council for Canada, the legislation prevents Minister of Finance from assuming these responsibilities, requiring this change. And so I just wanted to share with you, that's pretty interesting. I don't like Mr. Morneau being the president of the Queen's Privy Council. I don't like that at all. It's a kind of a strange dual role for Mr. Morneau, Mr. Panama Papers Morneau, right? It's very strange, but here we go. Next story today is a climate change one, and it's Maclean's calling Justin Trudeau out on his hypocrisy, but I thought I'd start with a meme. I saw this independently of seeing the Maclean's article, but people are talking about this. People are thinking about this. So this is a meme of Justin Trudeau and Sophie Trudeau and Justin saying to her, so then I says to him, you got to pay extra because pollutant ain't free, see? But I'm taking the jet to go surfing. And Sophie's laughing and she says, oh, Justin, you're killing me. Tell me another one. And hilarious, right? The hypocrisy. And I'm going to spell out the hypocrisy here. Maclean's is reporting, quote, Earth to Trudeau, lead by example. Andrew McDougall says the PM needs Canadians to believe in his climate plan. Not regularly jetting across the continent on holidays might put him in a better position. Yeah. Justin Trudeau took to the water this week to celebrate Earth Day, surfing with his family in Tofino on Canada's far left coast. The waves were part of a 3-day BC Easter break for the Prime Minister, a reprieve from Ottawa's stormier climes. The familial Hang 10 capped a long weekend that began in Hamilton and Toronto, where the Prime Minister attended Good Friday and Passover events, respectively. The religious events were themselves a cap to a busy week that saw Trudeau pinged from Vancouver, the Vashiki Parade, to Ottawa, private meetings, to Kitchener-Waterloo, government announcement, to Ottawa, government photo op, to the GTA before jetting back out to Tofino to surf. It is with this carbon footprint in mind that we should read Trudeau's Earth Day plea. Quote, climate change is already affecting us here at home, Trudeau wrote. Canada's north is heating up at 3 times the global average. Glaciers are shrinking. Hold on. Do you guys, and Mr. Bernier just tweeted about this. He says, remember that Environment Canada study that came out a few weeks ago on the same day Trudeau's carbon tax took effect, saying Canada is warming at twice as fast as the rest of the planet? Seems like everyone around the world got the same memo from the climate alarmist HQ. And here's a meme, and I've shared this before. It's got the Telegraph reporting Britain warming faster than average, Pacific Standard saying mountains are warming twice as fast as the rest of the world. Here's CNA saying why Singapore is heating up twice as fast as the rest of the world. Spain warming faster than the rest of the northern hemisphere. Global warming is happening twice as fast in Alaska. Australia is heating up faster than the rest of the world. Sweden's temperature is rising more than twice as fast as the global average. Adirondacks warming faster than the global average. Global warming to impact Switzerland at twice the average speed, warns researcher. Russia's warming faster than the rest of the planet and seeing blah, 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 fires. Weather Service, SA warming faster than global average trend. Canada warming at twice the global rate. Oh my goodness. So the report said twice, and Mr. Trudeau is saying 3 times. I wonder where he got that number from. That's interesting, isn't it? Sounds maybe just like he's making it up. Okay, back to this. Glaciers are shrinking, sea levels are rising, our oceans are warming and acidifying as they trap carbon dioxide. Floods, fires, heat waves, tornadoes, extreme weather phenomena are becoming more intense and more frequent, threatening communities across the country. This is me for a second. If you say that as a politician and you could potentially do something about it as a politician, wouldn't you? Like actually personally do something? Wouldn't you? Right? Wouldn't you? It's interesting, Trudeau's choices. Back to the article. The Prime Minister then largely repeated his words during a visit to flood-impacted communities in Quebec, which he reached following a brief stopover in Saskatchewan for private meetings. After sandbagging in Gatineau, Trudeau then left for Montreal for an environmental conference. Whatever your position on climate change, we can all agree the Prime Minister is exacerbating the problem he seeks to solve. If everyone jetted around like Trudeau, the Earth would be toast in record time. I scroll down a little bit. If Trudeau can fly all the way across the country for a few days of rest and relaxation, then ordinary Canadians who their Prime Minister is trying to convince to limit their carbon footprints can go to the Caribbean, or points further for the same. What climate gospel can Trudeau possibly preach when he took the Challenger jet back and forth to Florida on vacation twice in 1 week? And yes, the Prime Minister needs to meet with Canadians. That's the reality of the job. But what do you say then to the truck drivers or taxi drivers who also have carbon intensive reality? Or the business people who have to shuttle between their markets? Or do we just expect that someone else will make the needed reduction? And it goes on to extrapolate and further explore that argument. And I kind of agree with what he's saying there, but I'm not going to repeat it right now just because time. But it is not right then for Trudeau to lead by example and not use the gas guzzling Challenger jet as his personal limo whenever he needs a bit of sun or fun. It's not quite, quote, Al Gore heating his 20-room mansion, but it's close. And this is me again. I would hazard to say, oh yeah, that's exactly the same hypocrisy. Yes, definitely. The oceanfront mansion. Oh no, the waters are rising, but I'm still going to put my money here because it's a lot of money to invest in an oceanfront property if you truly believe that the water is rising and that it is an imminent threat. It seems a strange choice, right? Weird. Back to the article. You might think Stephen Harper a climate villain, but at least he didn't regularly light gas tanks on fire going on holiday. Other than a yearly weekend sojourn to New York City to see some plays or watch some tennis or baseball with his kids, the former Prime Minister never left the country on his personal trips, either retreating to Harrington Lake, a 25-minute drive from his office, or back to Calgary for his rest. Trudeau's travel habits make Harper look like David Suzuki. Now imagine a Justin Trudeau who didn't fly across the country for a 3-day holiday, or dip down to Florida twice in 1 week for the same. Imagine a Justin Trudeau who set up a video conference instead of flying hours for a private meeting. Imagine, for that matter, a Justin Trudeau who flew to India when he had actual news to announce. That Justin Trudeau would be in a much stronger position to urge ordinary Canadian families to do their bit for the environment. But here's the thing. You can't imagine that Justin Trudeau because he doesn't exist. The Prime Minister likes to say the right thing, but not do the right thing. This is a Prime Minister who will tell you the woman should always be believed and act on it until a woman says he's the one doing the wrong thing, and then it's all about her experiencing things differently. Yes, and yes, I agree with all of what I've said there, and this is an article that is good, so read the rest of it too. But actually, I'll just read the end of this article here. It's better formulated than what I was going to say. Back to the article. This is a feminist prime minister who promised to do politics differently, who kicked 2 of his female ministers out of his caucus for having the courage to call him out for doing politics the same way it's always been done on SNC-Lavalin. And I dare say a little bit further than the same way it's always been done. And so why should Canadians do anything Trudeau asks of them on the environment if he's not going to lead by example? Climate change is bigger than any one of us, Trudeau wrote in his Earth Day statement. Quote, "We only have one Earth, and that's what's on the line. Our environment is our future. We're going to fight for it, all of us except Justin Trudeau, apparently." Right. So interesting. Do what I say, not what I do. And one set of rules for you and one set of rules for me, right? The politicians, if they believe this stuff, need to behave like they believe this stuff, because words are hollow without action to follow them up, right? It makes zero sense to have all sorts of words saying climate change is terrible when your actions are those of Justin Trudeau, because the actions say, well, fly all over the world and twice for vacation, right? Twice in 1 week. Vacation is very, very important. Thanks for watching, everybody. Check out the peoplespartyofcanada.ca. And if you're in Vancouver, Nanaimo-Ladysmith, check out Jennifer M. Clarke. The time is now to vote. Why wait till Monday or even Sunday? You could vote on Saturday. And that's today. Go vote. Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a great day.